This is the Terminator Mustang, one of the coolest Mustangs ever made. All we have to do to unlock the thing is get 20 points in the winter season. Should take us all of like 15, 20 minutes or so. We are still doing well at unlocking the Raptor R and the Mustang. I think we might officially unlock the Raptor R maybe like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, somewhere around there. We'll have to see though. Let's go and unlock the Terminator. I'm very excited. I think we're done. Let's go, baby. Not only is this thing like absolutely insane for the time, it's got an incredible story, and I think it's also got some cool customization, but we'll come back to that in a second. Let's jump into it bone stock and give it a go, and I can tell you why this thing is so cool. This wouldn't be an AR12 video without any fun facts about the SVT Cobra Terminator. Back in the 1990s, muscle cars were kind of dying off, and like in the 80s, muscle cars were dying off. Back in the 1990s, Ford and SVT, the special vehicle team at Ford, basically went out to build a fancy Mustang with a lot of horsepower, and the one from the 1990s had 320 horsepower. Or at least that's what Ford would tell you. Because when customers ended up getting their cars, they put them on a dyno, and they found that those cars only had like 270 horsepower. 280 horsepower, and all of these owners of these SVT Cobras were furious, and lawsuits started flying like crazy. For the year 2000, there was no SVT Mustang. Ford put a stop selling order on all of them, and while they were doing that, they were developing this thing. They codenamed it the Terminator, and they wanted a car that would over-deliver on their promises. You might have noticed in FH5, it said it had 390 horsepower. Again, that's what Ford said. When owners bought these things and put them on the dyno, they found it was producing 420 to 430 horsepower. It did 0 to 60 in the mid 4 seconds. That's fast today. In the early 2000s, that was scary. And that wasn't the only crazy thing. Ford also offered this car with a very unique paint scheme called Misty Chrome. If you ever see one in real life, it is a color shifting paint that, depending on the angle you're standing at and depending on how the light hits the paintwork, the color of the car changes from blue to purple. The steering wheel is Misty Chrome, and the seat. Ford only sold 1,000 Misty Chrome cars. The Misty Chrome cars, though, the thing that makes it so mind-blowing is if you have one of these cars and you want to paint it Misty Chrome, it'll cost you like $10,000 to $20,000. Let's take a look at some of the customization we have. We've obviously got to do a whole bunch of stuff to this. I think our first build should be like an A-class kind of road racer. Fairly realistic, but at the same time, not over the top or anything. We've got our supercharged engine. We've got our supercharged V8. We'll probably end up sticking with that for our first build. But you can swap in a 6.2 liter V8, a diesel, an Audi R8. Wait, that's the engine for my GT350. We've got a Dodge Viper V10, a 7.7 liter V12, a racing V8, and we've even got the Hooney truck engine. All right, we'll come back to that. That's it. I'm keeping the stock engine in this for now. We do have some customization. We've got Celine body parts for this thing, so we can swap the entire front end. We've got a whole bunch of rear wings, Ford rear wings, Celine rear wings, no rear wings, and don't look at that one. No way. When you put the Celine rear bumper on, it actually removes the Cobra lettering and puts in Celine. That's essentially like debadging a car. You never see that in this game. That's pretty cool. Well done. We can also get the cool side skirts with the cool venting on the side. Oh my god, that's sick. Let's go for some upgraded tires. You know what? Let's do things fairly realistic for our first build. Let's go for like some sport tires. I feel like that's fairly realistic. Wait, you can go drag racing spec? We're coming back to that. The developers actually cook. Ignition, we are top of A class. After all of our upgrades, 550 horsepower. We weigh less than 3,000 pounds pounds. I have no idea how this thing is an A-class. The developers didn't give us Misty Chrome. It is literally one of the most famous parts of this car, and the developers didn't include it. Nathan did it. Can I just say, for the first time in his life, Nathan has taken a W. Oh my god, Nathan actually nailed it. Misty Chrome Ford Mustang SVT. I love this car so much. Look at the Mustang we've got back there. Full-on track build from that guy. Anyways, this thing's gonna be a little bit lively now. I've only got sport tires. I don't have the best suspension. And I've got 550 horsepower, so it's gonna slide everywhere. What a car, though. Insanely cool. This might be my favorite car I've built. This is what a Mustang should feel like. As cool as Ford Performance is nowadays, like Ford Performance replaced SVT. This was the final SVT Mustang, because after this, they just became Ford Performance cars and Shelby cars. This car did so many cool things. You know, actually, probably one of the most mind-blowing things about this Mustang, one of them recently sold for like $40,000 US. And I don't know if it's just me, but that seems kind of cheap for such like a special car. Oh, shit, I'm off. As it turns out, if you drive a Mustang for long enough, it does remember that it's a Mustang, and it just went looking, you know, seeking. If I'm gonna turn this thing into the ultimate drag racing car, there are a couple of things that we need. I definitely need the Celine rear wing on there. We're now complete Celine look. Very nice. Then I definitely want the big rear tires for that drag racing stance. That's so cool. Then I want some drag racing tires. A lot of chats just saying full send it. I guess we will full send it. I guess that means we need to go 7.2 liter V8 and all-wheel drive. If you're a purist, just look away for the next few moments. I didn't want to do it. Chat made me do it. Oh, the racing V6 makes more power? I didn't know that. Wait, okay. I'll put the racing V6 in. 1,460 horsepower. Look at the stance on it. It's so sick. Anyways, with this much horsepower, we definitely should be in the 8s, if not the 7s, but we'll see what it can do. It's definitely going to need some work. I need to tune the gears a little bit. Maybe change 7.7 immediately. I think we also need to mess around with the tire pressures a little bit. I think that's a good start. I feel like the 7.6 is coming. Come on, away we go. Good shifts. The gears should be better by the time we get to the line. Yes, they are. 190 across the line. And there's our 7.6, almost a 7.5. If you spend even more time upgrading this car, you can go even faster than that. One of the only upgrades I think the developers could have given this to make it even cooler. Imagine if the developers added in a wheelie bars with like a parachute on the back. Oh. So Golden, have you made us an off-road tune for this? So Golden's made two different off-road Terminators, an off-road one in A class and one in S1 class. I'm feeling brave. I'm gonna go S1 class. Oh my god. Golden, that's too much horsepower for off-road. We've got our big chunky off-road tires. Hopefully they're able to put down 1,400 horsepower, whatever this thing has. I didn't actually take a look at the weight, but I've got to assume this thing weighs... Sir! Nothing. Yeah, I'm just gonna restart. At least I haven't ended up backwards just yet. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's fast. Move, Camaro. Oh my god. Oh my... Okay, that's a Koenigsegg. Was a Koenigsegg. As it turns out, Mustang Cobra, if you don't get landed on top of... faster than a Koenigsegg. Okay, I'm about to jump so far, I'm gonna hit the wall. Oh, no. Simply a consequence of the speed. Yeah, a 1-to-1 power ratio will do this, as it turns out, but I'm here for it. All right, that was just for the flex. Had to do it to him. It's not every day you get to drive a color-shifty Mustang off-road and beat the supercars. I'm gonna go for another one because I might as well. That was sick. I may have lost to a Ford GT. Wait, did I? Wait. So close. I know Golden just broke a lot of the rules and put a big rear wing on it. I'm gonna break the rules and put a big rear wing on it. I want to know how fast it is fully maxed out race car. Bear with me. It's going to look a little sus. I apologize. I'm going with the V6 again and the all-wheel drive. I'm going to get many, many hate comments. It's going to be so close to X-Class. 970 in S2. 1,500 horsepower track build. I know what we're about to do probably won't work that well. Like, it's just gonna get too much understeer. It's gonna be too fast to handle everything, and it just won't have enough downforce, right? That's just what's gonna happen. I think our next build will be even better than this. We will see. There's a lot of wheel spin off the line, even though we've got full racing slick and maximum tire size. But yep, here comes the understeer. It's not the worst. All right, here we go. Brake and then switch back up the inside. Send it with some horsepower. 1,500 horsepower you do not mess around with. You just put it down and you go. It's actually not getting as much understeer as I was expecting. I was expecting way, way, way worse. Send it past the other Terminator, up the outside. Beautiful move. Oh, this is actually so much nicer than I thought. I was expecting a car that was almost undrivable, but with the little amount of tuning that I did to this thing, it really helped the overall suspension and like all of the understeer stuff. It's fantastic. I was not expecting that sort of performance. I was expecting something completely different. And that was actually really nice. Obviously, minus the rear wing and so on. We have time for one more build. It's time to go drifting. If I'm going drifting, I'm going to do things properly. We're going to go with a big V8. Now, the question is, do we go with the stock V8 in this, or do we toss in the engine from my Shelby GT350? Both are very good engines, both super unique engines. A lot of chat says stock. Okay, we can go stock. Stock engine it is. We're definitely leaving it rear wheel drive. We've already got the big supercharger. We can finally toss on some drift suspension. Look at that stance. The stance with drift suspension looks incredible. I think like 500-600 horsepower should be fine for this. Okay. 730 horsepower, we're fine. That's more than enough. The sun is setting in the distance. I'm so happy with this car. It's so cool. It really does live up to expectations. I know so many people out there were really wanting this generation of Mustang, and the fact that the developers actually did it really nicely and gave us parts for the Celine. All of the different engine swaps we've got for it too are just super nice. What a fantastic car. Such a nice car to go and drift. The Misty Chrome at night looks so sick. Boys, I think I'm willing to go out on a limb. I think it might be my favorite car in this month's update. It's so nice. Terminator Mustang, one of the best.